A new video just in the Newsmax right now, Brianna. You can see here several arrests are being made on the Brooklyn Bridge this after all these Palestinian protests. They're terrorists. Let's just call them what they are. They're blocking, saying, oh, we need ceasefire. And, you know, nobody should do anything and they should just let Iran bomb indiscriminately whoever they want. And these people in America are chanting death to America, utilizing the rights provided to them by America. Brianna?
Yeah, this is ridiculous. You know, if you look at some of the protests that happened throughout today, Florida, they had one, and within 15 minutes, you had people quite literally being dragged off the street by police. That's how it should be done. Unfortunately, we live in New York, and it's funny, there was a protest on a bridge near me, and those protesters were allegedly taken into custody much quicker than these Brooklyn Bridge protesters and other protests. But obstructing a road, a transit place, a sidewalk is not covered by the First Amendment's freedom of assembly, right? That is not protected free speech. And yet you don't see the same appetite for accountability on the left for this stuff when we see appetite for accountability for people, for instance, blocking a doorway because they don't want innocent babies to be murdered, right? That's the pro-life abortion or the pro-life activists who are sentenced to what, 10.5 years in jail because they stood there praying
and singing a hymn.
Right, and this is the reality that they're up against.
Yeah, Andy, you've covered protests. You've had actually your head bashed in by some of these Antifa protesters. This is all just part of the same movement, no?
It's linked. It's not the exact same movement. I guess how the perception comes that it's the same is that it often involves the same people or similar groups and networks of people. What's important to learn is that these extremist groups create allies and they have affinity groups, as they call them, where now it's no longer just about protesting Trump as it was during under the prior administration. Now it's under a whole list of new things that is constantly growing and expanding. It doesn't really matter really what the cause is. There always has to be some cause for them to use, to mobilize, to, in the best of circumstances, create inconveniences for people who are trying to live their lives.
It always is.
And in the worst of circumstances, they target people for violence, set buildings on fire. There was just days ago in Alabama, for example, a suspect who was arrested over the nail bombing at the office of the Attorney General's office. I looked up his online profile, and it's somebody with all this Antifa and Trantifa and trans propaganda on his social media. Right. So day in, day out, we're seeing far-left extremists carrying out acts of violence. They're being arrested. They're being convicted. We're not hearing about these stories in the mainstream media or by so-called counter-extremist groups and hate watch groups.
Yeah, and of course, it only goes one way. Unfortunately, we got to leave it right there. We appreciate Brianna Lyman, Andy Ngo. Always a pleasure.